I'm here to give another a more compressed prediction for Errol Spence Jr. versus Terence Crawford. I did a official prediction, I think a few months back. It was drawn out, it was a little longer, but I wanted to make one that was more in line with how I usually do my other predictions, so people can kind of like so they don't have to sit through it. They can just get a compressed version of that video. So here we go with the prediction for Errol Spence Jr. versus Terence Crawford, man. Let's get into it, man. Let's first get into these dudes, their style. It's evident. Errol Spence and Terence Crawford have two completely different skill sets, two completely different styles. Errol Spence is more of a pressure fighter. He starts off much more faster. He's more of a come forward guy. Terence Crawford is more of a counter puncher, more of a reactionary fighter. He likes to wait for you to throw lots of times. He can start off slow because he kind of like wants to download the information, download the data on somebody. It probably takes him usually 2 rounds. Now, let me say this. I was talking to my boy E Thriller the other day. Shout out to E Thriller, the Black Picasso. We was chatting, we was talking it up. We was on the phone and he said, I was saying, people keep saying this thing about Terence Crawford, how he has to start off fast. He can't start off slow against Errol Spence. And I'm saying, and every time I see people say that, I mean, it's their opinion. But I'm like, we like, listen, why should, why should he change the way he been doing shit? Like it been working for him the way he's been doing, right? So me and Thriller like, yo, why should he change it up? He's been winning the way he's been winning. Why people want him to start off so fast all of a sudden? And I've been getting that impression that a lot of times when these people they want Terence Crawford to adjust how he starts off his fights. They want him to lose, bro. Like that's the only thing I can really think of. Because if this guy 38 fights in, he's been fighting the way he's been fighting and it's been working for him. Why would he go in there and rush in there and just try to bulldoze Errol Spence? That could work against him. So I be peeping that with a lot of folks, man, a lot of channels, saying they say that shit and I be like, and then you get a lot of times it be people that they want, they're promoting Spence to win, that's cool. But then they starting to say they want Bud to, Bud can't start off slow against Spence and all this other stuff. Listen, man, the guy got the skill set to do that, bro. He got this, bro. Trust me, he got it. He got this shit. I'm telling y'all now, he got it. If he starts off slow, it's a reason why. It's what he do. And it's been working for him. Why would he change up his plans? But yeah, let's get to the tail of the tape, man. We got Errol Spence, man. He stands at 28 years. He's 32 years old. Terence Crawford is 34 years old. So Errol Spence has a slight youth advantage over Terence Crawford. But I'll throw this in there. I'll go far as to say Terence Crawford's taking better care of his body than Errol Spence, man. I'm not sure if Terence Crawford drinks or not. I don't know. I don't know if he smokes. I doubt he smokes, and I doubt he drinks. Probably a little casual drink or something like that. Errol Spence, I've never seen him smoke. I definitely know he drink though. And car accident wear down his body, and the retina issue. So Terence Crawford is a young 34 years old. So just keep that in mind, man. Terence Crawford stands at 5'8". Errol Spence is 5'9.5". So almost 5'10". So Errol Spence has the height advantage over Terence Crawford by a few inches. Terence Crawford's arms are 74 inches long, and Errol Spence stands at 72 inches in arm length. So Terence Crawford has the 2-inch reach advantage over Errol Spence. The records of both, Terence Crawford's at currently 38 wins, no losses, no draws, 29 wins by way of knockout. Errol Spence is at 28 wins, no losses, no draws, 22 wins by way of knockout. Terence Crawford's knockout ratio is at 76%. Errol Spence's is at 78%. So they're right up there in the power department. They're right on edge, neck and neck. But let's get into the attributes real quick. So the attributes, man, we got the jab. Uh, Errol Spence jab is more of a punishing, whipping jab. Terence Crawford is more of a stabbing, kind of like a dagger type jab. Who has the better jab? Uh, I guess it's subjective, you know what I mean? And I'm gonna give my honest opinion on it. Errol's jab is more of a he tried to set it up to go to the body type jab a lot. He tried to set it up mostly to get inside your body. Um, Lots of times I don't think he really uses his jab as a range finder as much. At times I've seen him do it, but more than anything else, Errol Spence's jab is more of a he uses it to get into your he'll throw one at the top, he'll throw the jab at the top, then he'll just come down to the body, or he'll throw the jab and then he'll pin your guard and come down to the body, type stuff like that. And I'll be honest, man, that's a rather educated jab Errol Spence has. It's very it is a high IQ kind of jab because he can use it to he'll act like he's jabbing, but he's pinning your guard, or he'll jab you and then go straight downstairs. I've seen him double jab. He has a pretty good jab. His jab is good. Terence Crawford's jab, it's more of a see what you gonna do jab. Like, let me throw the jab out here. I want to see what he gonna do with the jab. It's a lethal jab because he got power in both hands, but more so like he's using his jab as a reactionary tool, and also as like a he's trying to measure his distance with the jab. So who has the better jab? I would have to lean towards Errol Spence having probably the more I don't even want to say devastating jab. I would say his jab is more educated, man. I'll be honest. I think Errol Spence has a more educated jab than Bud. So I would have to give Errol Spence the jab. In the attributes, I would have to give Errol Spence the jab. It's just my opinion, Inside game, hands down, I believe that's Errol Spence. That's his bread and butter. Inside work, he likes to fight up in you up close. If he gets you on the ropes, it's a problem for a lot of people. That's his specialty. He gets you there, bro. If you're skilled enough to get up out of there, that's good. See, that's what I mean. You gotta have the skill set. And most of the people Errol Spence has been facing, I'd say the only one that knew how to get out of those body shots is Sean Porter. He's been really the only one that know how to really. He's the only one to date that was able to really evade Errol Spence's body attacks, man. Efficiently was Sean Porter. Gotta give Porter his credit for that. Just my opinion. So inside work, I give to Errol Spence. Footwork, you could. It's many things that come to mind when you mean the footwork. How a person moves around, how he gauges his distance with his feet, how he gets in and out of stuff, angles, how he uses angles and all that stuff. I would have to give that to Terence Crawford. I think he has the better angles. I think he has the better footwork, moving around as much. He moves around much better than Errol Spence. So I give the footwork definitely to Terence Crawford. The speed, I give the speed to Terence Crawford. Errol Spence, he's not exactly slow, but compared to Terence Crawford, I have to give Bud the edge on him over the speed. And the speed, even at 34 years old, I think Bud's always been faster than Errol Spence. Errol, at sometimes he can seem a little sluggish, but he is not like he's not like Danny Garcia slow, but he's not the fastest either. So I give Terence Crawford the edge on speed. Power, punching power. Being that Terence Crawford, he can switch hit. Errol Spence, he doesn't switch hit. Errol is a southpaw, meaning his power is in mostly his left. All right, so Terence Crawford has power in both hands. So they both have equal. Their KO ratios is right on par. Errol's jumped up a notch after he just got that Ugas stoppage. So it jumped up a little bit. I'm not sure what it was before that. I think it was probably at I think it was at 69 or 70%, and Bud's was at 76 already. It jumped up a bit over that win. So I don't know how they calculate the KO ratios, but it's now at 78. But talking power, you see Errol Spence hasn't been knocking out everybody at welterweight. Bud has, so you have to give Bud some kind of credit. And I don't want to hear nothing about, oh, but who has he knocked out, bro? He fought some of the same people that Errol Spence fought. Oh, but he fought them after Errol got him. Okay, he got who he had to get. So if he didn't fight those dudes, then he would have to be fighting lower level comp, and then you'd be complaining about he ain't fought nobody. So, like, shut up with that shit, man. What do you want? So as the power department, I have to give Terence Crawford the edge simply because he has the power in both hands and he's been icing everybody at welterweight thus far. Accuracy, uh, both of them can be patient fighters. I've seen Errol's patient when he wants to be. Terence Crawford's patient. But when they get to going, they get to going. And Errol's more, I think Errol is accurate as hell when it comes to that body work. Bud is much more of a sniper to the head. He can be a sniper to the body as well. This one is a little hard to really give, man, because both of these dudes are highly accurate punchers, man. This one is a toss up, man. I will have to probably give both of them a check in the accuracy, man. But like I said, I have to look a little closer if I had to really be a little bit more. If I had to lean a little bit towards somebody, I would have to say the accuracy. Probably would have to go to Errol Spence just by a little. I've seen Bud miss a few shots, wing a few shots. I've seen Errol do it too, but I don't see Errol really wasting a lot of his punches like that. Not Bud either, but I've seen Bud get a little careless a few times, a little reckless, throw some wild shots and miss. But I would have to say, I would have to give the accuracy, probably the Errol, man, just by a smidget. Bud is highly accurate too, but he's more of a calculated, like sniper type dude. Like he'll catch you whenever he sees it fit. I don't know, man. I can't. This one is a hard one. The accuracy, man. I don't know, bro. I've seen Errol being accurate, but then when Bud catch you with something, bro, it's like pinpoint on a button. I don't know, y'all. I gotta come back and visit that accuracy one. I'll come back to that before the video is out. Punch volume. Errol Spence has the higher punch volume over Terence Crawford, mainly due to Errol Spence's body attack. When he gets you on the ropes and stuff, he's relentless with it. And even mid-range, he gets you in the middle of the ring. I've seen him go to work on dudes and hit him with 3-4 shot combos. I've seen it. But on the ropes, man, that's when he can hit you with 6, 7, 8, 9 shots. So I have to give the punch volume to Errol Spence. Defense, I know this one, a lot of people are like, no, Bud get hit more than Errol. No, Errol gets hit more than Bud. Well, as far as like I said, the defense, in the last few fights from both of these guys, Terence Crawford, I did see him get hit quite a bit against Kell Brook. Managed to fuck up his eye a little bit. Sean Porter, Sean Porter hit Errol more than he hit Bud. He was tagging Errol more. So in the defense department, man, I'll have to give it to Terence Crawford. I have to give him the defense nod because he moves around much better than Errol, in my opinion. I think Terence Crawford, when he wants to, he can evade punches much more effectively, man. That's just how I see it, man. Yeah, he'll take something to give him, just like Errol would. But I just think Terence Crawford is a little bit more crafty in the defense department. when he's not getting reckless, and because he does tend to want to get in firefights when he shouldn't get in firefights. And that was my big concern with Terence Crawford. That might be a concern going into this fight, but I think Terence Crawford's IQ is high enough to realize, to know what he can take and what he can't take. And I think Errol too, more than likely. But I think Errol might get deceived a little bit by Terence Crawford. But I'll get into that when I wrap this up. And finally, the outbox skills. I've seen Errol Spence outbox Mikey Garcia, but that's I was impressed with it. But when you compare that to Terence Crawford's outboxing ability, not even close in my opinion. I think Terence Crawford gets the nod when it comes to the outboxing skill. Let's go back to the accuracy thing, man. I was sitting there, I was thinking about it, I was talking. The more accurate puncher, bro, I would have to lean towards I would have to give that to Terence Crawford, simply because he's much more of a pinpoint sniper. He catch you with one shot. I've seen him daze people with one shot a few times. And I just think he's much more, even though Errol has a higher punch volume, I think Terence Crawford, he takes his time to place his punches, and that will give him the edge in the accuracy because he'll land his much more efficiently. So if he throws one and Errol throws like two, I think Errol would probably miss one of those two. But Bud would probably get, if they both throw five, I would have to say Bud would get 4 out of those 5. Errol would probably get like 3 out of those 5. So I will have to give the nod to Terence Crawford on that. So in the attributes, I give Terence Crawford the footwork, the speed, the power, the accuracy, and the defense and the outbox skill. And I give Errol Spence the jab, the inside work. That's it. I know y'all goes, oh man, but you support Bud. Bro, I'm telling y'all what I see. This is just how I see, bro. You know what I mean? I do support Bud, but I'm not here to be biased. It's just the way I see it. So, in my opinion, this is lopsided. I only give Errol the jab in the inside game. That's all I can give him. I think Terence Crawford has all the other attributes over Errol Spence. So how do I see it going? Well, pretty much, I don't think Terence Crawford's going to change up the way he does things. He's gonna go in there and he's gonna start off a little slow against Errol. You might see him uptick a little bit just to gauge where Errol is. You might see a slight difference in Terence Crawford in the first 2 rounds that you normally would see. But overall, I still think he's going to take his time in the earlier rounds. Forget what everybody else is talking about. No, you can't do that, bro. You let him, if Errol starts off quick against Bud, that's a wrap. That's not true. It's bullshit. You know what I mean? But anyway, I think around the 4th or 5th round, he's going to figure out Errol Spence. Errol's going to definitely put pressure on him. I think Bud's going to move around a lot. He's going to outbox a lot in this fight early on. I think that's going to try to probably frustrate Errol. And then Errol going to start trying to close in on him, get closer to him, try to pound the body a little bit. And then Bud going to pivot off the ropes. And I think Bud is going to lure him in. I can't tell you what round. I think he's going to lure Errol in towards the ropes, because he know that's Errol's thing. He's like, yeah, I'm going to get him. Let me lean up on these ropes. He gonna figure something out. He gonna see some. You gonna see hints of that early on in the fight. He gonna try to lay on the ropes. Bud gonna lay on the ropes and try to see what Errol does when he gets on the ropes. And then you're not gonna see Bud on the ropes again, probably till like the 6th, 7th roundish, around that. And you're gonna see him go on the ropes. If you see Terence Crawford go up against the ropes between round 7 or 8 or 9, it's a reason he's gonna do it. He's setting up the knockout. So what I think he's gonna do, he's gonna lure Errol to the ropes. He's gonna high guard, shell up, and Errol gonna just start trying to pound up. Errol gonna get some body shots in, and then that's when he gonna leave everything open at the top, and then you gonna see one of them piston like jabs gonna come, and that's when I think he gonna crack Errol with these jabs he don't see coming, And I think it's gonna stun him. He gonna hit Errol with a right, an overhand right, then a left to the body, and then he gonna finish it with a right to the jaw. And I think he gonna knock Errol out right there. That's how I think it's gonna go. And I don't know exactly what round. I say round 7 to between 7 and 9. If I had to pick one round, I would have to say ninth. Dude, I know Errol he's tough. So, but I still think he's gonna get knocked out in this fight. So my final prediction for Errol Spence versus Terence Crawford is Terence Crawford. I'd say ninth round KO. I just think Bud is still, even at 2 years older than Errol, he's just too witty. I think he's too strong and he's too confusing for Errol Spence. That's just my opinion. So I think Terence Crawford is going to become the undisputed king at 147 pounds. Just my take. Let me know what y'all think. This is Rebel Life Boxing. I'll catch y'all later on the next one, and I'm out. Peace.